This is Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. From the corporate office to the cab of a truck, they're here to inspire and empower women in all professions. So gear down, sit back, and enjoy.
Welcome to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. We're a show that works to inspire and empower women in every profession and lifestyle. Whether you're at home, in the office, or in the cab of a truck, we help power you on the road to success. We tackle all kinds of topics and work to encourage women to be their very best with informative guests and women who've been champions. I'm Shelley and
I'm Kathy.
This is a very special episode of Women Road Warriors, and we're really excited. Valerie Bertinelli made her national debut on the TV show One Day at a Time, where she became the heartthrob of many a teenage boy and America's sweetheart. She's done it all as an actress, and she's been a wife and mother. She married rock and roll virtuoso Eddie Van Halen. She and Eddie raised another marvelous musician, Wolfgang, who's making tremendous strides on the music scene. She spent a lifetime in Hollywood where she's faced many challenges of her own. In addition to being a highly successful actress, a star of Hot in Cleveland, Food Network personality, and New York Times best-selling author with the book Enough Already, Learning to Love the Way I Am Today, she has been just a wonderful champion for women. Her message resonates with so many women out there with her book who struggle with their self-image. It's so needed. Valerie, thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love the message of your book. You have done so many wonderful things, but I would imagine the strive for perfection, especially in Hollywood, that had to have been hard.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think too many of us think we have to be perfect for anyone to love us. You know, we have to act a certain way, look a certain way. And it's just magnified in the business that I chose to be in. But I think everybody feels that way in their own town. You know, someone's looking at you, someone's judging you. And it's when you can finally break free of that and not worry about what other people think of you. And I don't have it down perfectly yet, but it is a work in progress. You find that you open up more and you can look at the good stuff more, and you can not care what someone thinks of you, because honestly, we have no control over what someone thinks of us. It's none of our business, honestly. And we can't control it. And they're coming at you with whatever their past ghosts are that have nothing to do with you. It just maybe piques something in them. So I don't know why I got up on that tangent.
It's so true. Well, you know, when you think about it, women are raised as children to be so perfect. And even if we don't get the messaging from our parents, we look around, we see all these beautiful women, they're perfectly coiffed, perfect makeup, and nobody tells us the photos are airbrushed. We're given Barbie dolls, which it's been proven there is no way anatomically a woman can be shaped like a Barbie doll. You know?
No.
There's actually somebody out there I saw, I don't know, a few years back, who has had plastic surgery to be perfectly shaped like a Barbie doll. She had to have a rib removed.
Oh my gosh.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the lie that young girl or woman must have grown up with, thinking that she wasn't of any value unless she looked a certain way. What is that? That's so wrong. It's such a lie.
Yeah.
So wrong. Yeah. It took me a long time to do the same. I started modeling when I was young and did Miami and New York and all that, Montreal. And I was stuck with this stigma in my mind that that's what I had to be like, right? And just like you were saying, once I was able to free myself from that, it took 40 years later to do it.
It's
but
hard.
Once I felt like Peter Pan, like, woohoo, you know, the freedom of, I don't care. You don't like what I look like? Don't look.
Yeah,
you have an opinion.
right?
Like, whatever, you know?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
For the younger women of the younger generation coming up, that it's easier for them to say, screw you, I don't care what you think, you know, and they're able to talk back to the misogyny and whatever it is that held a lot of us down. They're fighting back harder than ever, and I'm really proud of the next generation coming up.
It's so important, but it's taken so long, and Do you think we're making progress, Valerie, with the messaging? Because I still see what they call TNA out there in the cheesecake look. And oh my goodness, it's like, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we're making progress as long as the women that are doing that because it makes them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can do whatever the heck you want if it makes you feel good. If you want to wear that because you feel prettier, you do it. But
Mm-hmm.
don't wear it because you think some guy is going to make you think you're prettier or say that you're prettier. Do it for yourself. Whatever makes you happy.
Yep, that's the golden key right
Yep.
there.
Yep. I
But
totally agree.
I don't think it matters what anybody wears or does or says. As long as you're not hurting another human being, then do
Mhm.
what makes you happy.
You know,
Yep.
Valerie, you've always, I think in the public's eye, you've always been so perfect. Uh, what 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 made you think that you weren't?
Oh my goodness. Because I wasn't and I'm still not. And I don't think that there is such a thing as perfection.
Right.
Maybe Betty
Sure.
White came close to it. But she was
Yeah.
still a human being, you
Oh,
know.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Betty was just fabulous. But you've also done a ton of things and been a marvelous example.
Um, I think that I've led a very blessed life. Maybe that word gets overused, but it's true. I mean, I am grateful for the life that I have because I worked hard for it. I didn't used to give myself credit for how hard I was working. And now that I'm almost 62 and people are starting to tell me, you know, before we do any interview, I'll hear my life story. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess I have done a lot. I guess I'm not as lazy as I thought I was because when I do work hard, but man, I know how to rest hard. I can tell you that. I'm a good rester. And I would think that, well, that makes me lazy. No, it doesn't. I'm recharging. Leave me
Oh,
alone.
sure. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to have that time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Absolutely. Well, you've done so many things and you started early. If you wanted to maybe give a brief synopsis of everything you've done, how old were you when you got into Hollywood?
I think I did my first commercial for J.C. Penney. I did my first commercial when I was 12.
Uh-huh.
And I got One Day at a Time when I was 15. And then
Wow.
I started doing TV movies, I think when I was 19. And then just kept going. I took 5 years off when Wolfie was a baby,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I got a mini series, and Wolfie had just entered kindergarten, so I couldn't be there for him every day. I had to go to Park City and Salt Lake City, Utah, and basically live there for 2 months. But this was before 9/11, so I was able to fly back a lot. I was in the airport maybe 5, 6 times a week flying back. And then
Sure.
Ed would also bring Wolfie up. But in kindergarten, he drew this picture, the kindergarten teacher, who is still my very good friend, Julie, his teacher. We were in book group together. She had the whole class draw a picture of like, if you could fly anywhere, where would you fly? And all the kids were like, you know, someone wanted to fly to go see Santa Claus. Someone wanted to fly to a candy factory. Someone wanted to, you know, fly with the birds because whatever. And then Wolfie's was, I want to fly to Park City, Utah, because that's where his mom was. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm
Oh,
done.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
so
done. I'm
sweet.
not gonna. There's no reason for me to work unless I can like get something during the summer and Wolfie come with me. So I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
stopped working for about 5 years.
Well, when you think about it,
Oh,
motherhood is the ultimate job. It's a
yeah.
blessing
Mm,
and yeah.
hmm Yeah, and it was my favorite job. And it's still, even though my son's going to be 31 in a month, it's still my favorite job.
And you're
And he
still his
rolls his
mom.
eyes at me, but
Oh,
he's still my
sure.
baby.
Sure. But you've been a terrific mom and all of that.
Well, I don't know. Let Wolfie chime in on that one. We don't know about that. The jury's still out on that one.
So, reading parts of your book, it was a major love story between you and Eddie Van Halen. Um, how did you meet him? Weren't you backstage or something? You had some VIP
I
tickets?
was well. My parents had moved to Shreveport, Louisiana, and my brother Patrick had moved there with them, and my brother David left an 8-track cassette in the back of my car because he borrowed it once, and he left a cassette of a Van Halen cassette, 8-track. Oh my God, yep, that's how old I am. And they called me and they said, "Listen, we know the radio DJ here, and he said if we can get you to come with us, we can get backstage and meet this band." I'm like, "Who is this band?" So I played the 8-track. I'm like, "Oh my God, they're amazing. This guitar player is ridiculous." And then I saw the album of Women and Children First, and I mean, Ed's just he's such a cutie. So I said, yeah, I'll go. I want to meet this guitar player. And we went, and Ed was so shy. Dave was not, Al was not, and Mikey was a sweetie pie. But I mean, Al was very kind too. Dave was the only one that was like, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Good old Dave.
Dave is Dave.
Dave is Dave, and what he does really, really well. So I'm happy for that. And then we went back to their Motel 6 after the show, and we hung out by the pool. And then they had to take off, and I gave Ed my number. This is before cell phones, mind you. So I gave him the number of my parents' house, which is where I was staying.
Right.
And he didn't call for 3 days.
Oh, the nerve.
And when he finally called, I said, yeah, I'll come visit you. And me and my brother, we took off for Oklahoma, I think it was, and watched the show there. And then we just, that was it. We were together
That was
from
it.
then on.
It was a magnetic attraction, wasn't it?
It was. We were meant to be together. I'm the only thing I regret is that we got together so young, and that
Yeah.
I learned so much in the 40 years that I've known him, and I would have done so many things differently. My compassion would have been more in the forefront for the pain that he was going through, as opposed to being upset at him because he's doing drugs and alcohol. Find out what pain is he trying to cover up and not deal with.
Sure.
And I was too young to know, because I was covering up my own pain. But we came to a good place before he passed. I just wish we had had more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrible loss,
Wow.
but you had some wonderful years with him, and you have Wolfie, that's a blessing.
Yeah, a blessing, a big blessing. Yeah. I feel bad that Wolf doesn't have his dad here to be able to enjoy the success he's having right now.
Sure.
I mean, I know damn well that Ed and I would be at the Grammys with Wolfie to watch him, hopefully, knock on wood, win.
Yes. So, Valerie, what are some of the messages you want to give women? I know that our audience are women in the trades. They have certainly a lot of challenges just having to prove themselves in a man's world. How do they do this without driving themselves completely crazy, trying to be perfect?
Yeah. Well, there's no such thing as perfection, but I have learned, and I don't know if this works in every situation, but I have definitely learned that I prefer peace over being right, because I already know I'm right, but I don't need to make everybody else know I'm right.
There you go.
So peace is always the easier path to walk down. And you don't have to grit your teeth knowing you're right. Just know that between you and God and the universe, or the higher power that you have, whatever it may be that you have, you know you're right. You don't need to make that butthead know you're right as well. But you do deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. That is more of a challenge with some people out there. I don't know how mothers are raising their sons, but you got to teach your sons to respect.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of disrespect out there. And I myself would go, huh? My mother would never have tolerated that.
Yeah. Although it
key.
is really fun to watch TikTok and see how some of these women fight back the dude bro guys out there, and how she just, this one woman, Drew Afuelo, and she just, oh my God, she's hysterical. I laugh until I'm crying watching her just not care and just fight back with these guys that treat people really badly, treat women badly. There'll be guys that are like, you'd be perfect if you weren't fat. It's like, well, what makes you so God blessed perfect?
Right.
Why do you care? I don't know. I don't want to get down that tangent.
That's the one thing that when I talk to women in shelters and wherever I go, is that the minute you tolerate it, you just gave him permission to do it again and again and again.
God, isn't that true?
The more you tolerate, the more it's going to go on.
You teach people how to treat you. Yes, and I have taught people how to treat me, that I'm really upset at myself for teaching them how to treat me. But you always want to, sometimes that choosing peace over being right can make someone believe that they have a right to walk all over you. So there's a firmness that has to go with that as well.
Yes. Boundaries.
That fine line, right?
Boundaries. Yes, that's the good word right there. Boundaries. There's nothing wrong with boundaries. And if somebody has a problem with your boundaries, they were going to piss all over them anyway. So.
Yeah. You just say, hey, what is it about no that you do not
Yeah.
understand?
No is a full sentence.
I like
It
that. I
is.
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I never knew the word, honestly, I never knew what the word boundaries meant till when I was 40, when I hit treatment the first time in my life. I'm like, you mean I could say no? Like what? Like I was a doormat my entire life. Like, what do you mean? Like codependency? What? Oh yeah. Yeah. It is that one simple word no has changed my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the
Yeah.
one thing I said when I was going to Al-Anon. I I I really wish, and I don't know what it's like now, that I'm talking like, I want to say 30 years ago that I was going to Al-Anon. I wish they had been more. I know they're going there for yourself so that you don't have to, be a codependent and all that. But I wish they had taught me how to be more compassionate, and really nail down it's not the drugs, it's not the alcohol, it's not you, it's the pain. Drugs and the
Yeah.
alcohol is just the disease that develops from the pain when someone is so horrified with dealing with their pain. And I think that goes for everybody. Because I also went to OA, Overeaters Anonymous, for a while, and I did not find any help in that. And it could have been the meeting and the sponsor that I ended up with, and it just wasn't helpful for me.
Sure. So do you think it's because women are raised to be people pleasers? Obviously, the very nature of being a woman, we nurture. I mean, we're biologically designed to take care of others. Is that where we forget who we are and then we want to be everything to everyone? We forget how to be everything to ourselves, and then we start getting down on ourselves for looking
I
this
think you
way
can
or
do
that.
both, though. I think
Mm-hmm.
you can, because I think nurturing brings me so much joy.
Mm-hmm.
I love taking care of Wolfie. I love taking care of other people. It brings me so much joy. But yes, but you can take care of others and have it, make you happy, but you can also still have those boundaries for when they overstep them. But
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said for what you just said. I mean, yes, a lot of us fall into the wrong side of that, thinking we have to. But when
Mm-hmm.
it's something that brings you joy, do it. But you can, we're all smart enough to be aware of when someone is taking too much and not giving anything back.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know, like in the
go ahead.
nursing profession, I lost myself because I was so busy taking care of everybody else, and I had so much inner pain inside that I didn't want to look at. So I
Mm,
had my own personal wounds. It was
mm.
easier for me to physically take care of their wounds as opposed to looking at my own internal process, right?
That's so
And that led.
interesting.
Yeah, and that's how I relate it to when I talk to people. I said, just because your inner pain is a physical wound, it is. You're
Yes.
carrying it with you. It comes
Yes.
out in terms of low self-esteem, of depression, anxiety, eating, addiction. For me, it came out in alcoholism, right? And so it's, but you have to take care of that wound in some way. You can't just let it
Yeah.
fester, because what happens when you don't take care of wounds? They become infected, and then
Right.
septic,
That's
Yes.
and
true.
then toxic, right?
And this is where we're not. I think the more we talk about mental health, because that walks down the path of mental health as well, as you are so right on that, any
Mhm.
kind of emotional mental wound does, if it's not worked on, and it's not fixed, and it's not massaged, and it's not mended, it will fester, and it will be infected, and it will infect your whole life.
Yeah, it affects your thinking process. It really does. The
Hmm.
decisions that you make, you don't, number one, you don't feel good. Well, are you going to pick someone who's mentally sound, or you'll tend to find,
Right.
you're going to find people that aren't, because
Right. And
that's
then
where
that
you're at.
magnifies it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
sure.
I see. I'm telling you all this from really bad experiences. So I
But
had
though
to learn the
that's
hard
what
way.
connects people. And
Yeah.
God bless you for willing to talk about these experiences, because this is what helps people. This is part, I believe, of nurturing,
Yeah.
and that's in your soul, that
Yeah.
you are a nurturing soul. You are a gift to this world.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do share your stories, all of a sudden some people go, wow, that was me too. I can't believe someone else
Yeah.
is going through the same thing I was going through. And you just don't feel so alone anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Great leaders challenge their people not to stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is the book that will help you move past that first right answer to be more effective, more productive, and more successful. This book serves as a blueprint that can be easily applied by leaders, entrepreneurs, truckers, owner-operators, all of us in our everyday lives. This is one of the best leadership books you can read to help you accelerate towards your personal and professional goals. Plus, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to truckerschristmasgroup.org. Visit TightenTheLugNuts.com to order your copy today. Kathy Tuccaro is nothing short of amazing. She not only drives the world's biggest truck as a heavy equipment operator in northern Alberta, Canada. She's an international motivational speaker and the author of Dream Big, an autobiography about overcoming a lifetime of trauma and abuse that led to dreams of success. Kathy inspires people the world over to change their lives and improve their self-worth. Her book will change your life. She's passionate about personal growth and believes anyone can change their circumstances and overcome their obstacles if they believe in themselves. Her life will amaze you and seriously inspire you. Be sure to order a copy of her book, Dream Big, on Amazon.com.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
I think our society has a tendency still to shame and use the word should. I like to tell people I stopped shoulding on myself a long time ago.
That's so good. Yeah. Because it's not, you should usually when I hear the word should, or when I try to use when I think I need to use the word should, I think of it as also as a mind F, because it's messing with your head, thinking that you can and you should. So you should feel guilty if you don't. And all it does is send you down a path that's not helpful. The word can't also is not very helpful, because it's like, well, you could, but what is it really? I don't want to. And that's okay. I don't want to. That is allowed to be another full sentence. You could, but you don't want to. I mean, this could do with anything. Someone pressuring you to do something you don't want to do. You can say, well, I can't. You know what? I don't want to.
And giving yourself permission.
Yes,
right?
I think Phoebe on Friends was the best with this line. They were asking her something. She goes, "Oh yeah, I would, but I don't want to."
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. You're allowed to not want to.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah. Now, granted, I have not used that yet, even though I've not wanted to do things. I would, I'll say, "Oh, I can't." So I'm not really taking my own medicine, but I will. I'm going to get to that point. And the older I get, the more blunt I get as well.
Yeah, it just comes out. You're like, enough.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. Yeah, it's enough already.
Yeah. So do you think a lot of women don't necessarily do that because they're afraid of rejection?
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what are we going to be rejected from? Someone who wouldn't appreciate us anyway?
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's so many great people out there that would appreciate you.
And don't lower your standards. Or you know what? It's also people getting stuck in a comfort zone in something they think, even though they're not happy, well, it's safe, it's comfortable, it's what I know, because the fear of the unknown, that line that they put them there themselves, it prevents them from trying something new. And I'm a big advocate for, you know what, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yes.
I just moved here to California. I'm 52. I left my house. I left my family. I left all my belongings. I took my 3 suitcases. I was here in December. I said, this is it. I'm starting over. I don't care.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Kathy works in the oil fields 2 weeks out of the month, and then is in California the rest. So
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
2 weeks. Well, it's another one of God's gifts. You know, I have the opportunity. I could stay at home in my comfort zone and just, live life like everybody else, but I have too much to accomplish in life, and I'm not going to do it out of Cochrane, Alberta. So here I am, right, with my 3 suitcases, and I'm starting over. Let's go. Bring it on.
You go, Kathy. Wow.
But see, the fact that I'm doing that, it also inspires other people that, you know what, if there's something in your life that you're unsure of, or you want it so bad, but you just, that fear, just feel the fear and do it anyway. Take a risk. Try it.
Yeah. And that old line of, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? It's still a scary line, but because we all have to support ourselves. and support families a lot of the time. So, but what
Yeah.
would I do if I knew for sure I wouldn't fail?
Oh my gosh. So much.
Valerie, do you think that a lot of our the way we view ourselves, it's really influenced like by advertising, where you look, it's like, okay, this is wrong with me. I've got to buy this. This is wrong with me. I've got to buy that. Oh, and if I take this, then my butt won't fall off. It'll look a whole lot better, or it may fall off anyway. But yeah, I still need to take it. I mean, if you look at all the different supplements and cosmetics and this and that,
Yeah.
is that part of it? I'm wondering if women were more comfortable with themselves before television, you know?
Yeah. Who knows? Because I'm just as susceptible. I mean, I'll see things on TikTok, I'll see things on Instagram, and I'm like, the internet made me buy it. Some things work out, and some like, why the hell did I buy this? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still taking hair vitamins. So, because as you get older, your hair starts to fall out. And I'm like, oh my, I have half the hair that I used to have. So I'm like, what are the hair vitamins or the hair gummies? I mean, I fall into that same trap. I don't know if any of it's working, but I keep doing it.
Sure. So we're kind of programmed. Is it a matter of finally just stopping that program, taking a step back and saying, I like myself and I'm going to work on this today?
I'm enough already.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm already enough.
I was watching some of your cooking shows on the Food Network there, and what I love the most about the energy that you portray is that this is it, right? You are who you are. There's no fakeness. There's no, trying to portray something. You're just you. And I think that lesson it's a lesson in itself for anybody watching, that it's, you have ups, you have downs, you have goods, you have bads, you have, the trials and tribulations of life. But hey, this is me, and I'm having fun while I'm doing it. I think you're a great role model for everybody.
Oh my God.
Yes,
thank you so much.
You really are.
Yeah. Thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that, because sometimes I feel like an awkward little thing. I mean, when I make mistakes in the kitchen, it's like, oh, well, and sometimes I'm like, please leave those in, because I don't know everything. I'm learning along with everybody else, but I just want people to enjoy themselves in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mistakes and all.
Valerie, I think what people have always loved about you is you're real,
I hear that a lot, and I am grateful for that. And I don't know how else to be. I don't like, I guess I'm like, well, what is not real? What would that look like? What if I was trying to put on, and I already have, what is that thing that people, imposter syndrome, I already have that already. So can you imagine I don't know what I would do if I really was being an imposter. So yeah, it would be doubled.
Your genuineness, it just shines out of you. You have this inner light that just shines automatically, right?
And a kindness, an inherent kindness that people can sense.
Thank you. Yeah. I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. That's all. That give and take, that energy that I put out, I want back. It's not selfishly, I want to exude kindness into the world, because I think we need a lot more of it.
Oh man. Yeah.
But I also, what you put out, you get back.
That's right.
It's very true. Right. Very true. Yeah, I think that our world has gotten meaner.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
It feels that way. Yeah. But I don't think it has, because then I'll look back and, what was going on in this country 30 years ago. It's like, oh yeah, there was pretty crappy things going on then too. So, when does it stop? I don't know. When the bulk of us decide that we're going to not put up with the meanness anymore, and just try to teach our sons, teach our daughters kindness, boundaries, gratitude, that kind of stuff.
That is lacking. I totally agree.
But then again, there's a lot of people that are really, really good out there too. I really, truly do believe that there's the majority of people are good people. And then you have, the wackadoodles that just want to tell you how to live your life and say they want less government, but then they want to, rule your life. So that's crazy.
Removing toxic people that are around you is a big part of internal happiness. It's
for sure.
Whether even people that are in your family, I had to step away from my own personal family for a few years just because it was too toxic, and I couldn't heal if I was around them all the time. So in order to get better, to make Kathy awesome again, I had to step away and figure it out.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
And then
very smart of you. How did you get that? How did you, I mean, obviously you're a smart
oh,
woman, but I mean,
you know
how
what?
did you
No,
come
I
to
was
that
a bad,
realization?
I ended up drunk and homeless on the streets, having lost everything I owned at 42, and I had to restart from scratch and figure out my foundation, what went wrong. And
God bless you.
so, yeah, I took a year off, and thus the book. It's quite the story, quite the story. But yeah, so
Wow.
but you know what? It was one of the best things I couldn't have done for myself, was love myself enough to know what I need to take the time and do it, as
Yeah.
opposed to push and try and live and try and, do 10,000 things, and because you need that paycheck. But I ended up, no, I spent a whole year in a women's center where I learned about boundaries and codependency, and addressed all the sexual assaults, and learned about anger management, and all that stuff. So yeah, it really helped.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
So, Valerie, your book, Learning to Love the Way I Am Today, was that something that was a gradual process that you made that realization? Or did you just wake up one day and say, aha?
No, definitely a gradual process. And coming to that part, there was years of me going, why am I so unhappy? Why I've got so much to be happy for. Why am I so miserable? What is happening? Why can't I just take all this in and just appreciate it and love all this hard work I'm building? Why am I so miserable? So I through searching for that and trying to get over my anxiety, because I have intense anxiety, and I'm still dealing with it, but I'm dealing with it a lot better than I used to deal with it by just shoving it down and not wanting to feel it. So I would eat myself to oblivion. That wasn't helpful, obviously. But now I can actually talk to my anxiety and say, okay, because this happened to me 3 o'clock this morning, because I realized I'm anxious about traveling again, because I haven't in, a while. And I'm going to be gone for 2 months. And I'm really worried about my animals, because I take care of them a certain way, and we've got a rhythm down, and someone's going to be living here and doing it without me. And it worries me. So I had that conversation with myself at 3 o'clock this morning. Okay, anxiety, I can really feel you. I was just about to fall back asleep and you really want to talk to me. What's going on? And just really talking and trying to listen where in my body that I was feeling this. It's a physical feeling. And I was able to quell it enough to say, okay, I hear you. I understand. Yes, I'm scared about going. We have good people that are going to be here with them. You'll try and come back when you can, and all that kind of stuff. And I was able to talk myself enough so I could fall back asleep. And I think that was a learning process in that, dealing with the anxiety and dealing with the self-loathing. I actually have a skill. We all have the skill that we can talk to our brain. We can talk to our feelings. We can talk to our emotions. We don't have to just drink them away, eat them away, gamble them away, sex them away. We can really, with help, therapy helps as well. And I do talk to this wonderful woman named Angie Johnsey, who helps you compartmentalize all your different feelings and emotions and what you're going through. And your brain is very powerful, and you can talk to it. And I was just talking to somebody before I got on with you guys, and they were saying the way they talk to their anxiety is they've named it. They gave it a name. Like, I'll call mine Karen. It's like, Karen, what do you want now? Do we really need to talk about this right now? I guess so, because I need to go to sleep.
I
But if
like
you really talk to it, as opposed to try to shove it away, go, no, I don't want to feel this. No, 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 can't feel it, can't feel it, can't feel it. You're going to feel it anyway. It's going to come up. Why not just talk to it? What does it want?
You're engaging your logic, I guess, the logical mind.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because anxiety, I've heard it can run in families, and I think that women may be more prone to it.
My
I'm
son
not
has
actually
intense
sure.
anxiety, and I wish I could
Okay.
help him more. I feel like a failed mother because I haven't helped him there. But
Oh, my
also, he
daughter's
doesn't want
the
to take
same.
information from me. Yo, really?
Yeah. She's the same intense
Ed
anxiety.
had it too. Ed was
Really?
intensely anxious all the
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had anxiety. I actually had a panic attack that I was taken to the hospital. That
Whoa.
was quite some time ago, and they were wondering if I was having a heart attack or something. That was not it. It was just a major
It's
panic attack.
real. And I
Yes, it
just
is.
want
Yeah.
people to know that your mental health is real.
Yeah.
It's real. It's not fake. You're
Yeah.
not faking it. It's real. And
Uh-huh.
we can acknowledge you for that. And we can say, there are tools that you can do to help you. There is medication out there too, if you want to take it. I wasn't successful with any of the medication, so I stopped taking it. But I am successful with being able to work through it through therapy and through just talking myself through it at 3:00 in the morning, like I did this morning.
There's so many resources out there, so many.
Yes.
And I think that one of the biggest things is for people to recognize that it's okay to not be okay. You don't
Yes,
have to
thank
put on that
you.
front,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You don't have to
Right.
put on that
It is
image
okay
all
to
the
not be
time.
okay. Yeah.
Yes.
But obviously we want to feel better. So
Yeah.
for
But
me, it always
acknowledging
like
is a big
I
thing.
would eat something because it would make me feel better because it reminded me of all the love that I had whenever my grandma or my mom would serve the food. But I was using food in the wrong way. And now I can like talk to, I mean, it's okay to feel this way when I feel this way, but
Yeah.
I also wanted to get back to sleep. At 3:00 in the morning is too early to get up.
Sure.
Well, it's like you say, it's finding it, satisfying the hunger for life without opening the fridge. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had really taken that to heart more though, because I think I was
Yeah.
just saying the words and trying so hard to believe them,
Yeah.
but not doing the rest of the work because I was so worried about gaining weight. And now it's just like, you know what? It's life. It's going to happen. Yes,
Oh
I'm
my.
still going to try and eat better. I'm still going to try and, eat more fruits and vegetables because they make me feel better. Drink less alcohol and less sugar because that
Yeah.
does not make me feel good. So as long as I keep doing that and moving my body and stretching, I shouldn't have to worry what the scale says, and I'm not going to get back on it because all it
Yeah.
does is mess with my head.
That's right.
So
One good diet control that I have that Shelley knows about is the last couple of years is I have developed a severe allergy to gluten, and it keeps you away from the fridge. Let me tell you. I have
Yeah.
one little thing of gluten, and I'm in the hospital with I have to be in emergency. It's so bad.
Oh
And
my God, Kathy.
yeah, and I was looking at your recipes, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing that has gluten free. I'm like, darn it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh
Well,
my
there
God.
are gluten-free noodles out there, and I mean, like the
Oh yeah,
tuna
yeah.
sandwich, there's gluten-free bread that's really good. So
Oh,
I do that sometimes as well.
I haven't found the gluten-free bread that's good yet, but I do a lot. But we should have, people have this thing about gluten-free. You think it's the minute you say gluten-free, they said, that's disgusting. But actually, because now I have no choice but to find research on gluten-free foods, I've found some really, really good recipes. And I bet
Mm-hmm.
you if we were to do a show together, we cook the same thing, you do yours and I'll do the same thing gluten-free, and we have the audience in front of us tasting it, they wouldn't be able to tell. They would,
I think you're right.
yeah.
they would find
There's
the
some
gluten-free
amazing flours
version
out
better.
there. Yeah. There's cassava
Yeah,
flour, there's almond flour, there's coconut flour. I've used all of them in different recipes. They are really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
yeah.
Yep.
We should do that show. Just you and I. You do
Yeah.
the
There you
regular
go.
one, I'll do the gluten-free one, and then we'll see if they can tell the difference.
There you
I
go.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Industry movement Trucking Moves America Forward is telling the story of the industry. Our safety champions, the women of trucking, independent contractors, the next generation of truckers, and more. Help us promote the best of our industry. Share your story and what you love about trucking. Share images of a moment you're proud of. And join us on social media. Learn more at truckingmovesamerica.com. TNCRadio.live is proud to carry the Steve Summers Overnight Drive Show. TNCRadio.live is dedicated to commercial drivers. We offer the news, traffic, and weather you need, and the entertainment, sports, talk, music, and celebrity interviews you want to hear 24/7. We have original shows and trucker podcasts that feature some of your favorites, like Ice Road Alex Demagorsky and America's Truckin' Sweetheart Marcia Campbell. TNCRadio.live is convenient and designed for professional drivers. The best part is we're free, and you can listen anywhere you are on the road. With just one tap, you can tune into Steve Summers and us right on your phone. Simply download our app by going to app.tncradio.live. That's app.tncradio.live.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
So, Valerie, what is the main message of your book? I think that we pretty much covered that, but you've got so much packed in there. It's a wonderful message for women. Is it kind of part of the process of learning to not run away from ourselves, to be comfortable in our own skin, essentially?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
All of that. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because we are enough. I'm enough already. I don't have to shape myself into somebody that will make one person happy. I'll never, ever, ever have everybody like me. I'll never make everybody
Yeah.
happy. It's just impossible. So stop trying so hard. What's the one person I can make happy? Me.
Yep.
Me. That's who I need to make happy.
100% right.
And I applaud you, Valerie. In Hollywood, it's got to be tough to do that because you
It
have
is,
to
but
be a
I'm
persona.
about to film a show with Demi Lovato, written
Mhm.
by Suzanne Martin, who wrote Hot in Cleveland, and it's called Hungry, and it's about diet culture and diet groups and how we try to shape ourselves just so that people will like us, just so that we'll be happier in our body. All that stuff that it's so good. I'm really excited to shoot this, so I'm hoping NBC picks it up.
What a
I think
great
the world
message.
needs this show called Hungry.
It really does.
Nice.
That's terrific. So where do people find your book, Valerie?
You can find it. I would suggest going to your local bookstores because I always like to support them. So any local bookstore in your neighborhood or in your area, you could also go, barnesandnoble.com, any place that books are sold, you can find this book.
Mhm.
Awesome. I applaud you for doing this. Was it kind of tough to finally get started on this book? Were you a little apprehensive, or did you say,
Mhm.
hey, this is a catharsis. This is so freeing. I need to share this message?
Well, at first it was very cathartic. And it was like journaling intensely almost every day. And there were some days I just didn't want to do it. And by the time I was done, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want people to read this. This is really personal. So
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm ready for this yet, but I knew I was, because I knew just by doing shows like yours and talking about the book, it would strengthen my resolve to believe that I am enough already, and that the way I look is not how any of us are to be judged, the way we look. And hopefully by spreading that message, that we are enough already.
You're
Important.
awesome. You're
You
so
really are.
awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm giving you the biggest hug right now.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
same.
Thank you.
This is wonderful, Valerie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, both of you.
The message in your book is so powerful, Valerie. It's going to help so many people. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
We all have each
it
other's
is.
back, right?
That's
All
right.
of us women, we really need to have each other's back.
We
That's right.
really
That's
do.
right.
And we still love you men too. I promise. Yeah, I have brothers and a son, so I still love all
Yeah.
you fellas as well.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You've been such a blessing. Thank you so much.
It's been wonderful having you on the show. You have a wonderful day, Valerie. We hope everybody's enjoyed this episode. And if you want to hear more episodes of Women Road Warriors or learn more about our show, be sure to check out womenroadwarriors.com. And please follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. If you want to be a guest on the show or have a topic or feedback, email us at sjohnson@womenroadwarriors.com.